Good evening, everyone. This is yours truly, J Blue. J Blue 68. That's 6 and 8. And today is April the 3rd, Wednesday, comic book night. I'm doing a comic book haul, of course, as you see these books, these beautiful books in front of you. This actually is kind of late. Some of these books are kind of late, especially the one in front of you, which is the landmark issue of Batman Detective Comics, DC Comics, number 1000. Man, 1000 books of Detective Comics. Wow. One of my favorite superheroes, Mr. Batman, Bruce Wayne, the Dark Knight, the Cape Crusader, Batman. Yeah, that's him. He has his arch nemesis in a headlock there, the Joker, of course. Looks like Scarecrow sitting in the corner there, looking all creepy. Killer Croc and the Riddler. Of course, Butler up there, Alfred, and then it looks like Nightwing. Pretty neat cover. This book actually came out last Wednesday, March the 27th, and I'm just now displaying it. Kind of getting caught up on my books, but surrounding Mr. Batman are two Marvel comics based off of an upcoming story arc that they have that will be headlining this month. I believe it headlines today, and that is War of the Realms. We'll get into that in a few minutes, but right now let's just start with this haul here, okay? The books that we have in front of you. Alright, let's get a little clumsy with the camera there. My mistake, I'm so sorry. My bad. Okay, so let's move Mr. Batman out of the way and move on. Oh! Look who we have behind him. His old buddy Superman, but that's actually the wrong book. I'm not supposed to have this book in this haul. This is a DC Previews. This book alone is a haul within itself. We can do a video on this particular book by itself, and we will pretty soon, upcoming in a couple of more days or whatever. Okay. Next up we have Spider-Man Far From Home. This is a prelude by Marvel Comics for the upcoming movie, which will be coming out in July. This is one of two. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that new film. Comes out July, I think it's July the 12th, which will feature one of my favorite villains in the Spider-Man film, and that of course is Mysterio. We've not seen Mysterio yet, and will be played by actor Jake Gyllenhaal. Decent actor he is. Likes to play weird roles. He's in some series on Netflix currently. I cannot recall the title of the particular series, but it looks pretty good. I started it and never finished it, but I will. Okay. That's Spider-Man Far From Home. Got a couple of Spider-Man comics here, and I really, really love that cover. This is a Spider-Man based off of the video game that came out a couple of months back. Drawn in the likeness of that particular Spider-Man. As you can see here, he has a white spider on his chest. And I'm really digging that backdrop, man. I mean, dig that. Let's just move this camera up here so you can see it a little bit better. Look at that. I mean, the way it was drawn, it looks like something in downtown Detroit or even downtown Chicago. Or even downtown DC. I like that. Very dark and dirty looking. You know, and you got Spider-Man swinging through the city, protecting its inhabitants, but that's actually Manhattan. That's where Spider-Man resides, if I'm correct. Or is it Brooklyn? I believe it's Manhattan. But that's a nice cover, man. I still haven't gotten the video game, but I will be getting it pretty soon. It's gotten rave reviews, and it actually is a brilliant game. It's beautiful to watch. And again, this particular series is drawn after the likeness of that Spider-Man game. It's a 6-part series, I believe. City at War is what it's called. All right? And more Spider-Man for you. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man, written by the very talented gentleman Saladin Ahmed. All right, this is issue number 4 of that series. Okay. Can't get enough of Spider-Man. Oh, dig that. I forgot I had this in my stash. This is actually a reprint of the first appearance of Wolverine. Wolverine versus the Hulk. Wolverine and the Hulk. He's jumping in the air, attacking him. This is a reprint. But I actually seen the original print of this book, and man, it's rated, of course, was rated at a 0.9 or something like that. And the value of it was like in the hundreds, I tell you. So anyone who's lucky to have an original print of this book, yeah, can sell this and literally go on vacation or put a nice down payment on a car. But this is just a reprint. Just a reprint. Still glad to have it though. I love that cover. Love that cover. All right, next up, of course, Fantastic Four. And you can see the War of the Realms printed at the top there as they're promoting that particular story arc. And as I mentioned, and it was actually in my Captain Marvel video that is up and running, by the way. All you got to do is go to JBlue, type in the number 2, JBlue 68 and then 2. I'm sorry, JBlue 68 2, and you can see my review of Captain Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and upcoming comic books and movies on both DVD and in the theater. But I talk about this particular series. Well, basically, what I've read is that the Asgard, the cities of Asgard are actually going to be going to war with Midgard, which is our planet, Earth. So, look out for that. Very excited about that. I believe that War of the Realms starts this month and will be ending in August. And I think it's an 8 or 10-part series. I'm not for sure. More of that as we go along or get closer to the release of that book. Again, if it has not been released already. And if it has been, I will do a artwork from the pages in an upcoming video in a couple of days or so, along with the DC previews that I mentioned. This is written, but this is a Fantastic Four here, issue number 8, written by Dan Slott. Okay. Looks like Torch getting the crap punched out of him by somebody. Uncanny X-Men number 14, like that cover. Scott looks like a zombie or something. Looks like Havoc sitting behind him, Wolverine, Jamie Madrox, Warpath, and a couple of other people from the X-Men. I haven't been reading this series though, but I plan on catching up with it pretty soon, hopefully anyway. Next up is Riri Williams Ironheart, number 4. And I think I did show the 2 other books from this series just last week. But this is book number 4. I didn't have number 4. I'm catching up with all my books, so please just bear with me, folks. And my reading. Black Panther number 10. And again, with the promotion of War of the Realms at the very top there. Black Panther number 10. Guardians of the Galaxy number 3. Written by the very talented Donny Cates. It looks like the Guardian is on the cover there, along with the what's he called, the Space Ghost Rider or Intergalactic Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider. I'm sorry, yeah, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and it looks like Thanos' brother. What's his name? Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox, and there's Nebula right there. I don't have any idea who that guy is right there. But that is a cool cover. It's issue number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. And last but not least, as I say, I don't do all Marvel. And I've been reading this series for a while. This is issue number 5 of the Alien 3, the unproduced screenplay from 20th Century Fox. And I've been reading this book, man. I'm going to do a complete review of this story once it's finished. But I'm telling you, I swear to God, I wish that this would have been the movie instead of the crap that we got when Alien 3 was released. This would have been a brilliant story to tell on screen. It's actually not too late, especially now that they can do the de-aging thing. Sigourney Weaver's still alive. The young lady who played as Newt is still alive. She's a teacher now. She doesn't act anymore. But they can still get her, I'm sure. You know, hey man, money talks. They can get her to reprise that role if they should decide to go back and do this particular screenplay again. But there's a lot of corporate red tape involved in this movie being done, and I'm sure unlikely it will never be done. That's why Dark Horse Comics, thank you Dark Horse Comics, was gracious enough to solicit this story from 20th Century Fox and print it in comic book form. I always say, when movies fail, you have the comic book, if the movie is based off of a comic book. And I'm going to tell you something, man, dear audience. About 75%, that's maybe too much, about 65% between 65 to 70% of your television shows and movies now come from comic books. And comic books are not just necessarily based off of men and women in masks and capes. You know, The Walking Dead is based off of a comic book story. On Netflix, there's a show called The Umbrella Academy, which stars, surprisingly, my girl Mary J. Blige, who's an R&B singer who has a role in that TV show, but I haven't watched the show yet, but I plan to eventually. But yeah, so between 65 to 75% of your TV shows are based off of comic books. I love that. And so that's the haul. That's all I wanted to present to you guys tonight. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and share these videos if you like them. If you find anything informative about them or helpful in your comic book searches or comic book knowledge. If you have any suggestions to me or any ideas or want to correct me on anything that I said that might not be correct, because I'm not right all the time, then please comment below in the description box, please. I read all comments and I do respond. So that's it. That's all, y'all. This week, I think we got Shazam coming out, right? This Friday, April 5th. And then after that, April 12th is Hellboy. And then a couple weeks after that, April 29th, is the movie event everyone is waiting for. And that is, of course, Avengers Endgame. So that's it. That's all, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease.